Okay, so this evening we are going to be taking a look at the Aeroplane Heaven B25 Mitchell in Flight Simulator 2024. I'm just monitoring the live stream in the second screen to make sure it comes up correctly, and then we'll get going. So it won't be a moment. So let's go and pan around the aeroplane first. So, let's slow the drone camera down a little bit, hey? So this is the Aeroplane Heaven B25 Mitchell, the J model. We're going to go and have a look around it with the drone camera first, and then we'll get it up into the air and take it for a fly. Should be fairly straightforward. We'll go and open the Bombay doors and have a good look around the aeroplane as well. So you can see the modelling of the aeroplane is pretty good. I've chosen one of the metal or the bare metal variants just so you get to see how that looks. There's crew all over the aeroplane. Really nicely modelled. We're at Sanger in Illinois, if you're wondering. It's one of the better modelled little regional airports in the simulator. So we'll make our way around the aeroplane slowly, and then we'll go and get it fired up. Okay, so there was somebody on the gun on the opposite side, wasn't there? But obviously not on this side. And they're slightly offset, look. I'm guessing that's so the crew can stand alongside each other easily. Let's go and have a look around the undercarriage and into the bays. See how it looks. The tread pattern looks very good. So obviously we're going into an immense amount of detail here, but I think it's worth doing just to show how much care and attention has gone into the building of the model. And it does look very good. So coming around towards the engines, let's have a close look at one of the engines. See now, it's kind of interesting, isn't it? Because there's a bulkhead there that the cylinders are disappearing into. But the spinner and the propeller looks really nicely modelled. There's a bit of a graphical artifact there, look. I wonder where that's coming from. And another one there. Actually, yes, look, it's all see-through. You can see the 3D structures don't go together quite correctly. Let's have a look through here as well. Have a look at the lights. It's almost great, and then now and again there's a small mistake which throws it a little bit, but it's not too bad. Let's go and have a look inside the aircraft then. So being the J model, it's going to have the fancy bomb sights, so you can see this is really cool, isn't it? It's really nicely modelled actually. I've no idea if it actually reads anything, because of course Flight Simulator 2024, you can't really simulate weapons properly. It's not designed to do it. So I know some developers shoehorn firing mechanisms of one kind or another into the simulator somehow. So let's have a look at the models of the people as well. They're pretty good, aren't they? And can we actually follow our way through? and crawl. It's a bit tight up here, isn't it? And I'm not sure how we get through to the front of the aeroplane, actually, or even if we can. Doesn't look like it, does it? Actually, we were going the wrong way, of course. Okay, so you can get through this way, or he would be able to anyway. So let's go and have a close look at the cockpit. So you've got radio gear on the pilot side. You've got the main switch panel with the power and external lights, heating, that kind of thing. You've also got the bomb controls down here next to his knee. Primary instrument panel. So you've got indicated airspeed in miles per hour, you've got altitude, you've got a, looks like a localizer and a course deviation indicator, or HSI even, of some description. There's a turn coordinator there by the look of it. Attitude indicator, directional gyro, radio compass. It's quite good, isn't it? You've got manifold pressure up there. And co-pilot gets his own radio. And then you've got the stalks here. So we've got two mixtures, two propellers, two throttles, and then further down we've got, what have we got? We've got cowl flaps down here. And if we go further back, actually, what are these? Okay, it's friction controls for the levers. And further back, we've got some emergency controls. Some of these won't be active, but some of them are. So we'll have a play with those along the way. Okay, so if we go and press Shift and X, so this is our normal pilot view now. If we click on the yoke to make it disappear, and I'm just going to go and turn off the tooltips. To confirm where a couple of things were, I went and turned the tooltips on earlier. And resume. So if we go and turn the batteries on, and then we go and turn the master switch for the Bombay doors on, and the open switch, and then we press Shift and X again, we can go down underneath and have a look inside the Bombay as well. So it's just opening. Notice it doesn't have a sound, which is a bit of a shame. Be nice if there was an electrical whine of the mechanism. There's some pretty big bombs, aren't they? So 500 pounds. Oh, the sim's about to crash, I reckon. Oh no, it's just to do with where the camera is inside the body of the aircraft. Now look, there's a stray bullet here in the middle of the Bombay. Interesting. It's pretty good though, isn't it? It looks the part. So let's go and jump around the aeroplane, move the camera further away, we'll go and jump inside and figure out how to start the thing. So Shift and X. So we're going to close the Bombay doors again. I presume we have to wait for that to happen. Yeah, they can see it's happening there. So how do we get the engines up and running? Before we do that, let's go and check the tablet in the aircraft. So we want to go to the aircraft section, flight performance, mass and balance, and go and look at fuel. And we've got loads and loads of fuel. So we close that out. We're going to go and open the cowl flaps at least. Now, I believe the co-pilot's hands are going to be in our way, but we can just drag where we know the mixture levers are. I have mapped the... Okay, I'm going to change my mappings for my controls. So let's go and choose so I can have the propeller and the throttles on the two levers that I've got here. So I've already got something set up to do that. So yeah, if I go for basic throttle and propeller, what I should find when I resume is I can now move the propellers to max, crack the throttle open, and put the Meigs on. Now this isn't the most realistically simulated airplane in the world, so we may end up starting both engines at the same time. We'll find out. So we're going to go and put the boost pumps on. Again, we don't get any sound, which is a bit odd. Don't get a sound with the primer either. So I'll turn the primer back off. So what you'd normally do, look, is flick the energizer to the left or the right engine, leave it there for a few seconds, and then mesh it. But we can't hear anything, so we don't know what's going on out there. So we just leave it in energize for a moment, and we'll prime the engine that we're about to try and start. Or should we go and put some lights on as well, seeing as we're doing this? We'll put the position lights on bright, shall we? Okay, so then when you mesh, then nothing happens. Okay, so maybe that's not quite the way to do that. Let's try both at once then. So prime it, boost pumps on. Meigs are on. That needs to be on not meshing it. So then we energize and go for mesh. There we go, that's better. We get a load of smoke. Cowl flaps have opened nicely as well, haven't they, around the outside of the engine. Okay, so let's try the same again. So turn meshing off, then prime for left and energize for left. Give it about 4 or 5 seconds. So just leave that going for a few moments. It'd be better if you could hear it, because then you could hear the flywheel spinning up. Not sure if it has a gauge actually. It may do, mightn't it? So can we see the RPM? No, it's not really moving, look. So then mesh it. We get a pile of smoke out of that engine as well, and then the propellers blow the smoke away. So what's happening with RPM? We're going at about 1200. Let's drop it down to 1000. I'm going to go and increase the volume for you guys so you can hear it as loud as me. So let's do that on the outside. Should we open the engines up slightly? Just watching the front leg there as we increase the power. So watch the front leg again. See it compressing. Okay, so let's go and put the head tracking on so that we can have a look around properly. trying to see where the flap lever is. Can't see anything moving, but obviously it's working because we've got flaps deployed. They extend quite a long way for landing, don't they? Okay, should we go and try it out? Let me just get comfortable. So we've got indicated airspeed. Let's go and calibrate the altimeter. Before we go anywhere, let's go and check some more of these switches and see what we can switch on and off. So we've got oil dilution, we've got pitot heat, we'll go turn that on now. We've got blower heater, cabin forward heat, radar, power. So has it got radar then? And a passing light. So I'm presuming we don't need the boost pumps once the engines are up and running. Probably do. You're probably supposed to use it during takeoff, but we'll see how it goes. Superchargers. So at altitude you can use the superchargers to compress the air into the engine to get better performance at high altitude. You have got, if we look down here, we've got nav and com radios. So this is the nav radios, which probably, I'm guessing, should we have a look on the map, see if there's a VOR station nearby. So there's a Vortec over near Lansing. 11420. Should we try it? See what happens. So I'm guessing. Interesting. So we change the lower one and then flick it over. I get it. So then this is going to be the integers. 114. Can we go round? Yeah, we can. 201. We want to say Lansing. Yeah, 11420. So then if we flick that over to active, has this come alive? Not yet. We'll see if it does while we're up and running. Presumably, do we have to do anything with this? No, that's not active. Okay. So we're finding our way as we go. So park and brake off. Quite instructive for scale, isn't it, seeing it in the other smaller aeroplanes. So I've had a bit of a read up, although I've not flown it yet. Apparently you accelerate to about 90 knots on the runway, then you rotate. We are expecting quite a high alpha angle, so you're looking to target about 120 knots for the climb out, but it won't be a steep climb out, it'll be quite a shallow climb out. So I've done a little bit of reading to see what I'm going to face. So we're going to be going into quite a stiff wind here at Sanger as well, which will help. Okay, let's get inside. Lined up on the runway. So I'm just going to leave it on the parking brake for a moment and see how far we can go on the manifold pressure. So as I bring the power in, so yeah, you can go beyond the red line on the RPM. Can't quite go beyond it on the manifold pressure. So they have kind of dumbed it down a little bit. So off the parking brake. We'll go full power and see if the engine dies on us. Shouldn't do. What's the nose wheel like? It's pretty stable. We're going the wrong way down the wrong way, aren't we? Whoa, look at this. We lost all nose wheel grip then. I'm going to turn around and come back the other way. Look at it bouncing on the nose wheel. Now, one of the reasons you're supposed to rotate it just double check that. I'm going to go and have a look on LittleNavMap. I was sure when I loaded in the wind was the other direction. No, actually, yeah, it is that way. I've been playing around with the weather since I got into the sim. But one of the things I read about this is the reason they rotated these at about 90 knots. You're not expecting it to come off the runway immediately. And it's to stop damage to the nose wheel with shimmy. So you're trying to get the nose wheel in the air and then just sit on the main gear until the airplane comes off the runway. Okay, so hopefully going into the wind should be a bit happier. But that was interesting. We departed the runway as soon as we got up to sort of about 40-50 knots, went off into the grass. Turns nicely. Okay, into the wind this time, hey? And it's holding a straight line much more easily. So, 70 knots, or miles an hour, sorry. 80, 90, and then we begin to rotate. But we're not expecting to come off the ground straight away. You know we're not, look, it's staying near the ground. Let's go a fairly high alpha angle then. Gear up. Let the speed climb. We're coming up to 110 now. Let's get the flaps up. And the speed's coming up quite quickly now. Look, 120. So then you can target 120, between 120 and 140 during your climb. But yeah, you're expecting this high alpha angle. You can see it, look. We're quite nose high, aren't we? Let's have a look at this from outside. So now we're in the air, we can go and close the cowl flaps. And let's start a gentle turn to the left. And bring the RPM and the power into the green. The airfield. the airfield just disappearing below the port engine. What about trim? How well does the trim respond? So what do we get in terms of instruments? We got the vertical speed indicator there, just trimming us out for level flight. Should we put the yoke back on so we can actually see what it's doing? Interesting, look, the yoke is not moving. So it's not animated. I wonder why. Is that something I've done, or is it just something it doesn't do? Or is there something I'm supposed to have uncorked on it, and I haven't? Don't know. Obviously we'd have to go up to sort of 18,000 feet, I'm guessing, 15 to 18,000 feet for the superchargers to show us what they do. Okay, let's come back in towards the airfield. You can see it over there in the distance. If we pull the engines back. And what happens? So what we're doing with speed, that's about 75. Let's try a side slip. Hardly any rudder authority, but the speed is coming off. So let's go and put the gear down. Oh, interesting, the gear won't come down. Just coming down now. So it has a speed limiter on the gear. So because we can't side slip and we can't really slow down very easily, we're not going to be able to do this touch and go. So I'm going to have to do an orbit while we descend. Sinking like crazy. There's the airfield. So based on, we have to do at least 100 and 100, oh, it was about 100 miles an hour, wasn't it, to pull away from the runway. We're using a lot of power with full flaps and gear down to maintain even above 100 miles an hour. the main gear down. Picking up speed easily enough. Look, 120, 130. So when I thought I was doing 70, that was 170. It just wasn't very obvious at altitude. That's an aeroplane going past. Lost them in the sun. So we were saying earlier about whether this worked or not, weren't we? It does. Okay, so this is your omni-bearing selector. So it's telling us we fly 30 degrees to get to let's have a look. Measure distance. Yep, 30 degrees, look. So that works perfectly. So you can do radio navigation using the localizer and the nav radios on the side of the cockpit. And then you can turn the omni-bearing selector down here, which gives you your direction. I'm guessing then the arrow is going to be the ADF. I'm not sure if we've got any non-directional beacons around to try that out. Let's try if I cycle this. I can't see any appearing and disappearing. No, they're becoming more and more rare, so I'm not really surprised. So, shall we? Well, Chicago's quite a long way in this, isn't it? But why not? Let's go and fly over to Chicago. We'll go north. If we get some altitude on the way, we can try out the supercharger. Interesting, we've got like a directional gyro but as a needle. That's really quite nice. This isn't interactive, which I think is a bit of a missed opportunity. Interesting. So having done that, turn the head tracking off a moment. So the windows can be moved around, but they're a little bit, you have to be a little bit careful with them. Looks the part, doesn't it? I wonder what its stall characteristics are like. So we'll look, we're doing 150, 140, 135, 130. I'm just going to find out what happens. So 100 miles an hour. Running out of elevator and the nose is starting to sag. Oh, it's dropped the left wing. Will it spin? Yes, it will. Opposite rudder helped. I had to keep the revs off though to get us back out. And we lost a colossal amount of altitude. Okay, let's get pointing north again. That was interesting. So it went into a very big lazy kind of spin, and it wasn't going to come out of it unless I gave it an absolute boot full of rudder and obviously let the airspeed pick up. So am I sitting very, very high in the cockpit, or is the pilot normally this further? Yeah, the pilot does sit higher than the co-pilot by the look of it. Okay, we can see Chicago in the distance. On our way towards it. There's Gary Chicago International to our right. There's Midway. You can see there's aeroplanes on approach into Midway in front of us. So let's have a play then. What altitude are we at now? So 5,500 feet and climbing. Let's go and give this some serious altitude. So we'll scrub off some of this airspeed to get some altitude. We'll have a play with the superchargers. They shouldn't really have any effect at low altitude. The only aeroplane I've seen simulate them really well has been the DC-6 from PMDG. Oh, I suppose the Constellation had them as well. The PMDG DC-6, you could also inject water into the engines as well. Okay, so on the waterfront you should see, I think Chicago Meigs is modelled, isn't it? They kind of brought it back from the dead for Flight Simulator. How are we doing on volume, by the way? Can you hear me over the engines? Just about. Let's turn the engines down a bit. So yeah, you can see the city now. It's starting to render in. So we're doing 190 miles an hour at the moment. That's not bad going, is it? So, let's see, have we got any beacons out here that we can use? My word, look at the traffic going into O'Hare. That's mad, isn't it? Maybe we'll land at Merrill C. Meigs, see how we get on. That's if I can go in the right direction. So there's Merrill C. Meigs down there. Slow the propellers down. So we'll do a lap of the city and then we'll bring it into Meigs. Which way's the wind down there actually? Let's go and check. So if we hover over Meigs, it will tell us 284 degrees, 11 knots. So it's coming out of this side. It's going to be a crosswind. I don't think that'll be too big a problem with the Mitchell, but we'll find out. Clear sky, isn't it? Sun's going down over there, though. Slowly. I don't think I've been to Chicago in the simulator, you know. Not in 2024, at least. Okay, here we go, Chicago. It's changed a bit since Flight Simulator 2 back in the 80s, hasn't it? Okay, finals for Meigs. We said there was going to be a crosswind, didn't we? And we know we need to lose altitude because the airplane doesn't side slip easily, so you haven't really got that in your tool bag to lose height in a hurry. So let's get rid of some speed first. $70 miles an hour, 160 coming up. Should we just cycle the gear so you get to watch it? Good. So that's 110 miles an hour. I don't want to get too slow, seeing as how it rolled and went immediately into a big slow spin. I don't want to try my luck with getting too slow on approach. You can see the crab angle I'm having to put in. Yeah. Whoa, look at that. It's a bit unstable on the ground. So once you do get the speed down, the nose wheel grips. We saw that on that first takeoff earlier actually. Let's just do a fast run up and down the runway to confirm that. So if we turn around, I just want to see how this behaves. So yeah, look, the nose will kick into the air, and that plays into the whole idea that you can rotate way before you can get off the ground. And yeah, you lose nose authority. Look, I've lost it. It's gone. So I'm staying on the grass and I'm full wheel brakes, skidding like crazy probably to try and bring this to a halt again. So it's worth knowing about that you get above a certain speed and you lose the nose wheel. It's nice to see it moving the daisies, but unfortunately they're moving everywhere, not just behind the engines. I'll have to go and apologise to the groundskeeper for digging great big holes through his nicely cut grass. Okay, so how do we go about closing the engines down? Presumably we just pull the mixture. Did we get a nice... Yeah, you do get a compression animation there. That's quite cool. So there we go. The B25 Mitchell from Aeroplane Heaven. And we'll turn the pitot heat off, we'll turn off the lights, and we never did play with the radar, did we? Turn the batteries off, turn the Meigs off. Very good. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. I'm not sure if we can, which bits of the hardware around the cockpit we can play with. I'm guessing, yeah, so both windows open. I'm not sure if we can open the roof. Probably not. Famous last words. I haven't gone looking for click spots. As I said, I've not flown it before, so this was a first time for me as well. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. That's the Aeroplane Heaven B25 Mitchell in Flight Simulator. It's very pretty, isn't it? It's jumping around on its own on the floor here. I'm not sure if that's a feature of the airfield or the aeroplane. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.